right, good morning, you guys. And today we're gonna make another bread. You guys loved the cinnamon bread. I decided to, I don't know, let's play with some chocolate. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow. I thought, what better way to celebrate, right, than a chocolate bread? So, all right, let's get started. So I'm gonna be adding to my bowl 1.5 cups of warm water. I'm also going to be adding 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of honey. I have a local honey here from a beekeeper friend of my son's who brings me the most amazing honey. So we're going to get about 1 tablespoon of that in there. And then we're also going to be adding flour. Now, I use the flour sifter in scale from KitchenAid. I will leave a link up above to that video showing that. So what I did is I pre-measured here by weight 548 grams. And that is because bread flour, as I have on a chart right here in my kitchen, bread flour for 1 cup equals 137 grams. So we're using 4 cups of flour. If you don't weigh your flour, you're gonna use about 4 cups. And if you do weigh it, that's gonna be 548 grams. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my mixer, turn on my sifter, start getting the flour sifted in, and then we're gonna keep adding our additional ingredients. So let's go. Okay, we're gonna be adding 1 teaspoon of salt. And normally I would throw that in with my sifter, but for video purposes, I just want to show you guys what I'm adding. I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of soft butter. We're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of powdered milk. About 1 tablespoon of homemade vanilla extract. And then there we go. I'm going to get all of that mixed together. And when this forms a dough ball, I will bring you guys back and show you the next step. As a side note, I want to add an egg in this because I just want this bread to be a little softer and a little richer. And so we're going to just dump an egg in there. So go ahead and add an egg in there before you make this. You know, as you're making this. Don't wait till last minute like me. It'll be fine because my dough is still wet. I'm going to add an egg. I use bread flour just because you'll get that nice rise that you want versus if you use an all-purpose. I don't use milk because of the enzymes in it, so I do use milk powder. I have a video on where to find that in a grocery store. I'll leave that up above. You might have to add just a little bit extra of flour with the egg. That's okay. We'll just sprinkle some in with a little tablespoon here. All right, I'm gonna let that knead up and then I'll bring you back. All right, guys, so it's been kneading for 5 minutes. So let me take my Fitbit off and my wedding rings here. Okay, and then my counter is already clean, minus some flour. Take this off. Okay. And I guys need a better tripod. You guys can get the whole view. Okay. Let me grab my dough scraper here, which is just a plastic scraper. Okay. I'm gonna scrape this right out of the bowl. All right. And then we're just going to Make sure you have clean hands. I'm just gonna go ahead and knead this into a nice ball. Okay. Right. I will show you what that looks like. I mean, so smooth, right? So beautiful. All right. We're gonna go ahead and take a picture for Instagram, because you know, this is how I let you guys know what's coming. So here, I'll put you in the photo. There you go. All right, there, I'll get you in the picture. All right, ready? Smile. All right, now you guys are in the Instagrams. All right, if you don't follow me over on Instagram, by the way, go over there and follow me. I really do want to do more Instagram stories over there because they're so much fun. I love watching them. And so I need to start going over there more. Okay, I'm going to put some oil in my bowl here. And then we're going to get it in the bowl. So I'm just going to get this off the counter here. And there's our oil in our bowl. And drop down our dough, spin it, flip it, and then I'm gonna get a tea towel here, and then I'm gonna dampen it with some warm water. I'm gonna drape it over, and then I'm going to set this in my oven with the light on. Now I have a proof setting that I use, but you don't have to do that. You can just put it in your oven with the light on. It'll be quite warm enough. Or set it under a light, somewhere warm. Just set it somewhere warm in the corner of your kitchen for an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and set this timer for 1 hour. And I'll see you guys back in 1 second. But 1 hour, as our bread continues to rise, we're going to go ahead and make the chocolate filling. It calls for 2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate chips. Okay, and they want you to have 2 ounces. So I went ahead and I used my scale over here and I weighed it out for you guys. So if you don't have a scale, it's going to be 1/3 of a cup. So 1/3 of a cup of chocolate chips. And then it calls for 4 tablespoons of butter. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of chop this up and put it in here. Okay. And then it also calls for 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. Now I have a really dark, rich Dutch cocoa here that I'm going to use. So 3 tablespoons, and I'm going to use a clean knife here. I'm going to use this and kind of get this. So 3 tablespoons of cocoa. Now this is going to go in the microwave. We're going to microwave it here, which I don't like using my microwave, but so if you don't have a microwave, you could just do this in a pot on the stove. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of cocoa. Now we're going to add some powdered sugar to this, but not yet. So right now we're just going to melt this together 50% on the microwave. It says it takes about 2 minutes. I'm just going to keep bringing it out every 30 seconds and giving it a stir. And then I'll bring you guys back when I get this all melted. Okay, there we have it. So, nice and melted. Oh, looks so good. Okay, so now that that is all melted, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the powdered sugar to this. Okay, it calls for 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. So let me get my knife. Where's my clean knife? And get that. Okay, so there is 1/4 cup. Okay, and then let's get that stirred in here. All right, now we want this just to cool a little bit before we add 1 egg white to this. Okay, so we need 1 egg white. So I've just got a little dish here. I'm going to crack my egg. And then I'm just going to let the egg white come off. Alright, so there is our egg white. Now that my filling has cooled down, we're going to go ahead and add the egg white right to this. And mix this in. I'm going to use a fork this time just to mix it. Now if you tasted this before you add the egg white, this filling is delicious. I just want to kind of beat and stir this in. Okay, so you got to keep beating it, otherwise it'll stay kind of grainy, and you don't want it grainy. You want this to look smooth and glossy. So go ahead and really beat this. It's going to completely change. It's going to completely change the look on it. So can you see that? See how smooth and silky that looks? That's the look you're going for. So keep beating it. If it looks grainy, it's not beaten enough, okay? You want to keep beating it until it looks just like that. Okay, let's get our bread out. Let's make some chocolate twist bread. So here is my dough. Look at how pretty that is. So we're going to go ahead and lightly deflate it. Even though you're going to want to punch it. Just lightly deflate it. And then go ahead and bring it right out onto your counter. And then I'm going to get my rolling pin. I'm going to just sprinkle this just lightly with some flour. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that, okay? All right, now we're gonna put our filling in. I'm gonna be using I'm gonna take my fork out of here, and I'm gonna be using a butter knife. But if you have an offset spatula, that would be perfect. I used to have one, and for the life of me, I don't know what happened to it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use a butter knife, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we are going to spread this filling Now, I know some people were saying, I got like 2 comments about my cinnamon twist bread being like a babka bread. I don't know if babka is more of a sweet bread than what we're making. So I can't say for sure like this would be traditional babka. Babka is usually chocolate. But the dough is different, so I don't want to call it that. But this is going to be beautiful, sweet chocolate bread for Valentine's Day. And easy. I mean, this is probably all things that you have already in your house. So I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge because I want to be able to seal it. So we're just going to spread this out in a nice even layer here. All right, I'm going to get out my bread pan. Now I'm using a Pullman pan. I do have a 13-inch Pullman pan. The link, you can find it down in my Amazon store. I have it under breads. If you guys want to pick that up. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to roll this. Okay. So we're going to start here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. Nice and tight and nice and even. Okay. And then we're going to seal it. Okay. I like to bring the edges up over so it's even. All right, and then we're just going to pinch and make a seam. Okay, we're going to poke in the end, bring it up and in so the end is nice and pretty. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I always kind of roll it. Kind of just press down that seam. Okay, and then bench knife time. We're going to split this down the center. Okay. That's where I try to make the dough as even as possible. And right down the center with the bench knife. Okay, so you have two sides. Okay, I'm going to bring and pinch together the end, and then, if you guys can see this, starting with the bottom side, I'm going to twist, 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 and bring it together on the edge. Now it's going to be messier because this is chocolate. All right, we're going to lift this and put it right into our bread pan here. Okay, now let me clean my counter real quick here. Okay, bring you over here like that. And then this is where I kind of just even it out. I don't want to manipulate it too much. I want the ribbons to stay ribboned. Okay. But that looks pretty to me. So I'm going to go ahead now with this damp cloth that we're going to use to cover this. I'm going to preheat my oven again to 350 degrees. Okay. And then I'm going to cover this and I'm going to rest it on top of my stove as my oven is preheating. I'm going to let this rise for a half hour. Okay. And then we're going to come back and put an egg wash on it. So let me preheat this and put this on my stove, and I will see you guys back in 1 second. But it'll be 30 minutes my time. Okay guys, so our oven is preheated. It's been 30 minutes. So I'm going to shut that timer off. This is our bread. Now I have an egg in here. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put an egg wash on this bread. Okay, so once it's all egg washed like this, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. When I bring it out, I'll show you the end result. Hey, timer is going off. We're going to shut this off and shut my oven off. And my house smells incredible. This bread looks amazing. Look at that. Woo, it was happy. Rose right out of that pan. Okay, let me get it out of the pan and I'll bring you guys back. Here it is. The finished bread. Look at that. Now, I'm gonna let it cool, but I'm going to bring you guys back because I'm going to top this bread with some powdered sugar. And that is going to be my Valentine Day treat for my babies and my husband included. A little sweet treat, some chocolate twist bread. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to top this with some powdered sugar. And then we're going to cut into it. I normally would not have cut into this until it's completely cool, but I want to get this video out to you guys in time for you guys to make this for your Valentine's Day sweeties, or to treat yourself. So we're just going to top it with some powdered sugar, just like so. And then let me get a bread knife. Move you over here so you guys can see this as I cut into it. All right. It's going to be a little soft because it's still really warm. There it is. Look at that crumb. How soft that bread is. And this is going to be beautiful toasted up in the morning. The cup of coffee for my husband. Probably some hot chocolate for my kiddos. It also would be really good as French toast, which is something that I might actually do for my kids tomorrow morning. So, yeah, there it is. Now, as you cut through it, you're gonna find more and more ribbons. I don't want to cut too much because, like I said, this is a gift for my family. But as you go through this, you'll find more and more chocolate ribbons throughout. Each piece will be kind of marbled a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give this bread a try. If you do, come back, let me know what you think and what your family thought. Happy Valentine's Day, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. All right, I'll see you soon.